Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another video. Today's video I've been promising for a little bit of time, and it is about how to overcome your anxiety about going to Disney solo. So a lot of the times I get people who find me because of my solo trips and the tips and tricks that I've talked about in the past, and a lot of them tell me I really want to go solo, but I don't know how. I'm kind of scared to. I don't know if it's worth it. I just don't know how to pull the trigger and do it. And, you know, I'm the first to admit that, yes, it can be kind of a scary thing. I am, believe it or not that much of an extrovert and not that much of a person who just does things alone. I often feel like I need people with me to do things, or I used to be that person, let's put it that way. And after going to Disney alone, that has changed my entire outlook on just everything. From going to movies to, you know, taking a day at the museum to whatever it might be. I feel so much more confident and better now spending time with myself. And I think that Disney trip, the first one I had last year solo, really helped me come out of my shell in that way. Now ever since, you know, I just took another one in July and I feel more confident to go down when I want to on my own. And there are a few ways that I think that can help you figure out how to get past that anxiety. Again, these are things that you do need to take action on and do. And you can't let the thoughts of what if I don't have a good time? What if people realize I'm alone? Like, you can't let those thoughts stop you. If you do, you will not get anywhere. You will not even be able to do some of the things that I am suggesting because you need to take action. So that's the first thing. Just tell yourself, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get myself down to Disney or anywhere else alone, because it'll be worth it, because I'm gonna have an amazing time, because I'm gonna learn how to enjoy spending time with myself and really understanding what I wanna do and just kind of having a blast. Tip number one would be practice going places alone. Practice, meaning actually put it into practice, but start at home. Go to that movie alone. Do you know how many times that I've growing up have been like, man, I really wanted to see this movie and these friends saw it already without me, and these friends don't want to go, and now I have no one to go with, so I guess I'm just gonna miss it. I'm gonna have to wait till it's on Netflix or whatever. That's silly. Go to a movie on your own. It is a dark room. Nobody knows you're by yourself. If you buy your tickets ahead of time, nobody will even realize. You can just waltz right in. How do they know you're not meeting a group that's already sitting in the theater or holding seats for somebody who's coming? They don't. And if you've noticed, at least I've noticed more on my solo trips to movie theater, there are a lot of people who go alone. There are groups, but you definitely see the individuals who said, screw it, I want to see this movie, and I'm gonna go. So I think it is one of the easiest places to go to, because like I said, you're sitting in the dark alone for 2 hours. No, everyone's paying attention to a movie, nobody's paying attention to you. I think it's a very easy place to start that test. And then you can push it even further. Like I said before, you know, I like to go to museums. I live in New York, so I'm lucky we have a lot of museums, a lot of culture here. And I, for my birthday, I think it was like 2 years ago, went to the Museum of Natural History by myself. I bought myself a ticket. I did everything by myself, all the special exhibits, the 3D IMAX movie. I explored everything on my own. And again, such a big space with so many people who are so caught up in what they're doing, nobody cared that I was looking around on my own. And for all they know, I'm studying something, or maybe, you know, you go to the Met or the MoMA or another art museum by you, and maybe you're an artist and you are admiring and looking at people's techniques. They have no idea, and they're not gonna ask you because they're so caught up in what they're doing. So start at home. Start with small things. Go to the movies, day at the museum, maybe even try a little lunch spot. I'm not saying do a fancy sit-down restaurant by yourself first thing, but I don't know, just eat at, you know, one of those places where you can like order and sit down and just like chill with a book or whatever, and test that out. I mean, everyone has different levels of anxiety with that sort of stuff, and I think finding something that pushes you a little bit towards what you're not used to and what you're not comfortable with is going to make you comfortable with it. Number 2, especially for Disney, read and watch other people's experiences. A lot of you are already doing that because you've seen my vlogs and you've seen the things I've talked about before about eating alone and all of that. There is more than just me out there. You know, unfortunately there isn't a ton of resources, but I would recommend going to Disboards. There is a whole adult and solo traveler subsection of that board where people not only ask questions, but talk about their experiences and do solo trip reports, and that can help you feel a little bit better about the idea. There are definitely other solo travelers on YouTube. I will link to a few of them in my description below. People that I've also been seeing have gone often solo, some to Disneyland over Disney World, but in the end it's kind of all the same idea. So I would definitely check that out, but start to really see what other people are doing and to let yourself know that this can be done and has been done. People do it and they have a great time. So check what they're doing, see what their kind of day-to-day routine is, see how it worked out for them, and that will make you feel better about it working out for you. Tip number 3 is plan out whatever will make you comfortable. As in, maybe you're going to avoid, you know, Ohana by yourself because you're gonna be one person sitting at a giant family style table with people you don't know and you don't wanna have to be forced to have a conversation with people. Okay, that's not in your plan, but maybe all quick service is a way to make you feel better about eating. Take the time before your trip to plan out what's going to make you feel comfortable, and that's okay. You can go to Disney in your comfort zone. I'm not saying you have to go and then suddenly start making friends with everybody in line because you're by yourself. Do Disney solo however makes you comfortable. So if that means, you know, trying to always go on single rider on lines, then do that. If that means trying to just fast pass most things because you feel uncomfortable waiting in a long line, do that. If it's quick service and no table service, do that. But just plan out your day so that you know what makes you feel comfortable and you stick with that, because, you know, nobody's saying you have to suddenly go willy-nilly and get rid of all of your anxiety and do all these crazy things when you're down there. You don't. So start small, start with the things that you think will make you feel most comfortable, and having that plan is gonna make you feel a lot better when you book, because you're gonna say, okay, well, I know exactly how things are gonna go because I have it all planned out. Number 4, test the waters with another Disney trip, if you can. I say this in that if you have a trip coming up with family, friends, a group, and a couple of other people, see if you can maybe bookend your trip with some solo days. Or if you can ask that group, hey, I want to take half a day to myself in Epcot, in Magic Kingdom. Test the waters with a few hours on your own, and you might be surprised how much you're actually going to enjoy it. But you can also test being there alone and only for a few hours. There's no anxiety of, oh man, I'm gonna be here for 5 days, and what am I gonna do for 5 days? It's, you know, I'm in Magic Kingdom for 4 hours on my own. I can do this, I can handle this. Maybe I'm waiting for other people. I mean, one of my trips just recently with Rob and Kat, they did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, which meant I had a whole half a day to myself. I wasn't gonna sit in my hotel room all day, so I decided to go to the Magic Kingdom where I was going to meet them at 1 o'clock. And spend my morning there and think of it as, okay, I'm killing time, but I know I'm gonna be meeting up with my friends at 1 o'clock. But in the meantime, I'm here and I paid money to be here. I might as well have some fun. So if you can test the waters on a current trip that you have already booked, that's awesome. I know not everyone can do that. Not all of you have even been. Maybe some of you are like, nobody wants to go to Disney with me, and so the only way that I can go is solo. But if there is a chance that you do go regularly or have a trip coming up and you can make some of that alone time, I highly, highly recommend it, because that was how I tested the waters for making my own solo trip. And I felt a lot better when I knew that I already had some experience under my belt. And my last piece of advice is just book it. Just book the trip. When I was thinking about doing my first one, I was hesitant. Part of the reason I was going to do it was because JetBlue had this like crazy leap year sale, and a flight down there was gonna cost me like $29. And it was very last minute. You know, I had to book the trip within 2 to 3 weeks. So the chances of anyone else saying, yeah, I'll come with you, were really slim. and it just seemed like a really great idea. I had the money to go otherwise, and I kept going back, oh, what do I do, what do I do? And I remember speaking to Rob about it, and I would chat him every day and say, what do I do? I wanna go, this is such a great price, but I'd be going alone, what do you do? And in all of my crazy anxiety, and I had a lot of it was like a mix of anxiety and excitement when I was on that Disney World website. I was like, just do it, Christine, just book it. And my first thought was just book the hotel, and you can always cancel the hotel if you suddenly feel like you don't want to go. And the ticket, at least there, was only $29, so if I did cancel, I'm only losing $29. It's okay. And so I just sat there and I said, I want to go. I really want to do this. So I just booked it. And let me tell you, I didn't end up canceling it. I think once I got that fun, you're going to Disney World screen, and I started to get the emails, I just got so excited. And I realized that I was going to have a good time no matter what. And I'm going to Disney World. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm going alone. I was just so excited that I was able to go. And so it almost motivated me more just to do it. And maybe people need to book without that, you know, ability to cancel. Maybe just book your flights and book all the other things that can't be canceled so you're locked in. Whatever it is that like gets you to just go, just book it. I'm telling you, the scariest part is the actual booking of it. And then once you do that, you're like, well, I'm going now, and this is gonna be great. Getting that experience, having that fun, experiencing the magic, worth it. Worth any sort of fear or anxiety or anything else that you have, because at the end of the day, you're gonna come home and you're going to feel like you did something. You're going to feel like you just had this amazing experience that you took with you, as opposed to staying at home and regretting it and sitting there saying, I could be in Disney right now, but I decided not to do it. I would love to hear in the comments below if you've been thinking about a solo trip. How can I help you? Are there questions that you have? Are there concerns that you have? Let me know in the comments below. If you've been on solo trips, please help some of these people out. Tell them why it's so amazing. Tell them why they should just do it. Because sometimes you just need a little bit of that encouragement from somebody else who's done it already. If you like this video, then like it. If you want to see more like this, you should subscribe. I try to do Disney videos 2 to 3 times a week. I do Wedding Wednesdays because I'm planning my wedding in November, which is crazy, that's so soon. And I'm always doing videos and stuff like this. And if you have any topics that you want me to cover, please also let me know in the comments below. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope if you're thinking about going solo that you just do it. I want you guys to have the best time. So if you've been thinking about it, I hope this is the motivation you need just to get it done. Go and have fun and eat a Dole Whip for me.